All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tween Tuesdays. My name is Carrie, and I'm the Tween librarian at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library. This week, we are going to be making 3 different types of paper flowers. In case you didn't know, Sunday, May 10th, is Mother's Day, and all of these would make a great gift for mom or grandma or just someone special in your life. So today, we're going to be making origami tulips. And these are great because they actually will stand up on their own if you balance them just so. So you can kind of line them up and make a little garden. We're also going to be making 3D paper flowers. So these are great. You can just make a bunch of them and make them into a garland or as a decoration, whatever you want. But you could also add a popsicle stick or paper straw like I have, and then it makes a nice stem, and you could fill these up in a vase for a really nice paper flower bouquet. And then lastly, we are going to be making a daffodil pop-up card. So that is what is on the agenda today. We are going to start with our origami tulips. So those are going to need a 5x5 square of paper, as well as a 6x6 square of paper. If you have colored paper, great. I didn't have any colored paper at home, so I'm actually just using computer paper, white paper that I colored with a marker so that it would be the colors that I want. So the smaller square is going to be the flower part of the tulip, and the green square is going to be the stem. The larger square is going to be the stem. So that one should probably be green, but it could be whatever color you want. So we're going to start by folding the flower part of the tulip. So grab your 5" by 5" piece of paper, and we're going to flip it over to the white side, or the side without the color. And we are going to fold it in half. And make a nice crease along the edge. Then we are going to unfold, and we're going to fold it in half again in the opposite direction. And now we should have a nice triangle with a line through the center. And now we are going to fold the petals. So we're going to take the corners, the bottom corners, and we're going to fold them towards the center, but not all the way to the center. We're going to fold them at a slight angle, just kind of off to the side a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And if you've ever made an origami dog, I'm pretty sure these are some of the same exact folds. All right, so we're almost there. We're just going to finish it off by flipping it over. And we're just going to fold in these 2 pointy corners to kind of soften the edges and give it more of that natural tulip shape. And there you go. We have a beautiful tulip flower. So I'm going to put that off to the side, and then we are going to work on the stem for the tulip. So again, this one is going to be a 6x6" square, preferably green. And we are going to, again, flip it over to the white side. And we are going to fold it in half diagonally. And then give that a nice crease. And then we're going to unfold. And basically what we're doing is we're just creating a center line that we're going to use as our guide. So for the next fold, we're going to be taking the outer corners and bringing them into the center to create kind of a kite-like shape. And again, anytime we're folding, we're going to kind of make a really nice crease along the edge. Now we're going to do that on the opposite side. So again, we're going to take the corner and bring it to the middle and make a nice crease. So we've got that kite shape. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take our corners and we're going to bring our corner to the center. And we're going to make a nice crease along the edge. And now the same thing on the other side. Bringing that corner to the center and making a nice crease. And wouldn't you know it, we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to take the corner, bring it to the center, and crease. Same thing on the other side. Bring the corner to the center and crease. So now we should have a skinny diamond shape, which is perfect. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. We're going to be bringing the top down to the bottom. So make those 2 points meet. And then fold. And now we're going to fold it in half again, but kind of the opposite way, kind of like hot dog style. So we're going to make the two sides meet to fold it in half. All right, so we are almost there. We should have kind of two spikes. So we're just going to pull out the inner spike just a little bit, kind of at an angle, and then set that crease again. And now we have our stem. So to attach our tulip to our stem, you could just tape it if you want, but you can also just get a pair of scissors and make a really small cut right at the bottom of the tulip. Just cut off the very tippy tip point. And should have a little bit of a hole there. And then we can stick the skinny spike right in there. Now you have a really pretty tulip that will stand up. Don't really have a good angle to show you here, but you'll be able to do that standing up on a table. So you've got a beautiful tulip, and you can make that in so many different colors. Make a whole bunch of them. It'd be so pretty. All right. We are going to move on to making my favorite one, our 3D paper flowers. So for this one, we're going to need our larger rectangles. So we need a 6" by 8¼ inch piece of paper. I know that's kind of a weird measurement, but 6 by 8¼ inch. And then we're going to need a 4" by 6" piece of paper. So these can be any colors you want. I like the two rectangles to be different colors so that the center petals kind of stand out. And for the ones that I've been making, I've been using white for the larger rectangle and then color for the inside. But again, you can change it up, do whatever colors you want. Just pick 2 colors that you think look good together. So basically what we're going to be doing with both rectangles is creating an accordion fold. And to do that, we are going to first fold our piece of paper in half this way, hamburger style. And then again, make a nice crease because that's going to be our center line. And now unfold, and we're going to take one side and bring it to the center. So one edge, we're going to line up with the center. And then as always, a nice crease. Now I'm going to take the edge that has been moved to the center and fold it back to the edge, the side that it came from. I'm basically just going to fold back. And what we're doing is we're just dividing this paper nice and evenly into different segments. All right, now we're going to flip the paper over. And again, we're going to take the edge and bring it to the center. And crease. All right, so now we are going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we're going to flip it over. And again, we are going to bring the edge to the center. And we're going to make a nice crease. And just like before, we're going to bring the piece that's now in the center back to the edge that it came from. So we're just going to fold it back and crease. And then we're going to flip over. And again, we're going to bring the edge to the center. And a nice crease. And then last, we're just going to fold together. And we should have a really nice, even accordion fold. And don't worry if you went wrong somewhere and yours is kind of going in different directions, you can refold along the creases just so you have an even accordion. So it should be going the opposite way all around. Okay, so we're going to set that aside and we're going to do the same exact thing with our smaller rectangle. So we're going to take our smaller rectangle, our 4x6, color side up. And again, we're going to fold in half, hamburger style, and unfold. So that gave us a nice center line. Now we are going to fold from the edge into the center, just like before, and crease. And now we're going to fold back the piece that just came to the center back to the edge that it came from, and crease, and flip, and back to the center, and crease. And flip back over to the front, the colored side, and we're going to do it again. Now we're going to bring this edge to the center and crease. Then we're going to bring the piece in the center back to the edge and crease. We're going to flip. And then again, we're going to bring the edge to the center and just fold back that original center fold, and we have another beautiful accordion fold. And again, don't worry if yours didn't turn out right the first time, just refold until you get the accordion. All right, so these are going to be becoming flower petals, so we want them to have nice rounded edges rather than these square edges. So we are going to trim the edges, give them a nice round shape. I'm going to trim from the open edge. You can actually trim from either way, but I like them both colors to be going in the same direction. So I'm going to cut from this open edge, not the folded edge. And just a nice little edge. Sometimes it takes me a couple tries, and once I unfold it, I kind of see what it looks like and see if I like it, and maybe trim a little bit more later. But I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to do the same on the bottom. Just a nice little rounded edge. And we are going to do the exact same thing with our larger piece of paper. Again, I'm cutting from the open side, not the folded edge. And if you unfold it, you can kind of see what it's going to look like. And I'm satisfied. Okay, so we are going to move towards assembling our 3D flower. So next we are going to fold this in half so the top meets the bottom. So we have a nice center crease. Then we're going to do the same thing with our smaller piece of paper. Fold in half. All right. Now I'm going to stack these on top of each other. So I have the side with 4 mountain peaks up. Same with this one, 4 peaks. And I'm just going to fit that right in there and kind of line up the 2 centers. Okay, so once you have them stacked, we're going to kind of fold them up, and we're going to find the center of the flower by counting 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Here's our center, and we are going to be stapling. So grab your stapler. We're going to be stapling in the center as close to this center crease as we can. All right. So now we're just going to be bringing the flower petals together on both sides to connect them. And again, we're going to be stapling. So I'm going to staple here from the back. And now I'm going to unfold the other half and bring these 2 edges together. And I'm going to staple from the back. Oops. Hopefully your stapler works a little better than mine. Mine's hard, has this edge on it, so it's hard to get all the way in there. Almost got it. Nope. Okay. 3rd time's the charm. Yay. Okay. So there we have it. There are a few things you can add to add a little pizzazz to your 3D flower if you want. So I just cut out little tiny circles. If you have a hole punch, that would be really easy to do. I just actually cut out my own circles. They're not perfect, but they work just fine. In a different color than the center color. And then you can also add, just like cut out a few green leaves and tape those to the back if you want. And then again, you can add a stem just by taping a paper straw or a skewer or popsicle stick, whatever you have, or even an actual stick from outside will work too, to give it a stem so that you can put it in a vase. So that's the 3D paper flower. You can make that in a whole bunch of colors to make a nice bouquet. Next, we are going to be making our pop-up card. So for this project, you are going to need a full sheet of paper. If you have construction paper, that would be, or like cardstock, that'd be really nice for the outside. But if you just have computer paper, that's okay too. That's what I'm using for the outside of my card. We're also going to need some yellow paper, about a half sheet. This is just going to be used to make our petals. And then you're going to need a small orange rectangle for the center. This doesn't have to be exact like our other projects, but the measurements that I have for this one are 2 inches by 4.5 inches, but you can just really eyeball it and just make it work for the size of your petals and everything, and you can adjust it. So don't worry about it being exact. Just having an orange rectangle of some sort is going to be perfect. So just like any other card, to start, we are going to fold in half, hamburger style, to give us the base of our card. Next, we are going to cut a circle out of yellow paper. Again, I didn't have yellow paper. I just used a marker to color computer paper. My circle's not going to be perfect, and that is okay. Just cut in the circle. And then I'm going to glue it right in the center, right on that crease. Next, we are going to make 6 petals. So I just have colored this sheet yellow, and I'm going to fold it into thirds. Because I'm looking to make 6 petals, and I kind of just did like a freehand outline of some petal shapes. Again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can just cut them without tracing or just make whatever kind of shape you want. Things aren't perfect in nature. Every petal's different. Okay, so I should have 6 petals here. And I'm going to glue them around my center dot to make my daffodil. Can try to space them out somewhat evenly. But again, not going for perfection. Just making it look nice as you can. Whoever gets this card is going to appreciate it no matter what, because you made it. Five and 6. Beautiful. Well, this looks pretty already, but we're going to make it even better. So now we're going to take our orange rectangle. We are going to cut a wave pattern in the top. So just get some scissors and kind of just go up and down just a little bit, right along one of the long edges. Okay. And next we are going to turn this into a loop by gluing the ends together. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the edge. And then make those ends meet. So I have a nice loop. And now I'm actually going to flatten it, because when it's inside the card, it's going to fold up with the card and fold up nice and flat. And this is kind of extra, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to add some more creases just to kind of give it more texture. So I'm adding a crease, flattening it the opposite way. And I'm going to do it kind of like in between those existing creases. Again, this is just an extra step, but I think it makes it look nice. Like that. All right, so we're going to go back to our original crease, and we are going to create just a little tab by cutting into each side towards the center. So just cut 2 slits, and now I'm going to cut up from the bottom to make a little tab. That's going to allow me to glue this down to the center. So now you should have these 2 little guys sticking out. We're going to fold them in so that they are now ready to be glued down. So I'm going to add some glue. And we are going to line them up so that they are on the opposite side of one another, kind of on the left and right side. And we're kind of trying to get this one center crease to line up with the center crease of the card. And you're going to want to let that dry, but then once it's dry, you can fold it up. But make sure the tabs are all dry and glued down so that they don't get out of place when you do that. So let it dry, and then you can fold it up, and it'll be a nice pop-up card. And you can decorate the rest of the card however you like. If you have some cardstock or construction paper, you could add that on the outer edge on top of the white. That'd be really cool. All right, so those are all the projects for today. I hope you had fun making them, and I hope you have fun giving them to someone special. Be sure to tag us at HML if you take any pictures of what you make. If you prefer written instructions, there's a link below to a Wakelet, and there's pictures and descriptions of each step. So that would be helpful if you want to rewatch the video or look at those directions. Next week, we have a comic creation workshop. So that is going to be a program that you have to register for. So go ahead and visit our online programs calendar to do that. There is a link below. And I hope we see you next week. And thanks so much for watching.